I would understand it more if it was off meta but good versus what they see. But the DP to me versus the Knicks doesn't sound particularly great, and nor does it seem that good versus Luna. But we'll see. It must be a comfort pick for their mid laner, or it has to be mid at this point because they picked
Right.
Clockwork. So they just picked it for
Because they
yeah,
like DP.
yeah,
I,
they
I
just like it.
I wonder if some of this is like we've been seeing so many Lunas that play like mega AFK, and this is like that the idea of playing against bumblebees for them that they want to like try and come in under the timing when Luna gets her BKB and can fight, and they can maybe like punish that, take buildings or something. Because I mean, do they have like the heroes that can make that happen? Is this Timbersaw gonna have a good enough lane for that?
The Timbers lane should be fine almost always,
Right.
but the problem I do have, like the last time they ran this Timbersaw was versus the Bumblebees, I believe, and they had a Storm mid by Esk who really complements the Timber.
Right.
And they don't really, they seem to have this style with black and yellow right now where their mid laners, like some Lina, some Death Prophet, they're not playing much of the initiator mids anymore, which is a little concerning when you have this Timbersaw offlane because it puts a lot of weight on the supports to like get stuff done with a very small amount of items, maybe just one blink dagger instead of at some point being able to initiate with a BKB. Whereas bumblebees pick up a core initiator and the centaur, who eventually will scale no matter how hard the game gets. He will scale with the games, meaning like he will get the BKB, he'll get a 4-staff, whatever he needs to be able to initiate. Where I feel like with black and yellow sometimes their supports like don't get enough items to continue to initiate, so black and yellow have a hard time finding the fights. But it's just a lot of pressure on them. It's not impossible, but it's just a lot of pressure on their supports. That's why I
Mm.
question the DP a little bit, because you can't really
Ah.
initiate with this hero, and you can't really do it. Timber can go in first, but he likes to
Right.
go in after he sees a stun and uses all his damage.
So now that we have 4 out of 5 picks on both sides, what does each team need to really round it out? I know that you talked a little bit about black and yellow, but the DP pick is locked in already. What can they do to round it out?
They need a +5 on the bumblebees, because they're playing first pick, right? So
Yeah.
they're just usually on first pick you pick your 5 in that last slot because there's 2 bans before that slot, and if you wait for a core, some of the best ones will get snatched. So you just pick your +5 in that spot, or your +4 if it hasn't been picked yet. So for Moo, they've had a lot of success with this Oracle, to be honest with you, in their past 2 games. I expect them to play, like, the meta right now is pretty much pick a healer. Oracle could be okay in this game. It's really up to his preference. Probably not Timbersaw too much against Lion and Timber. You definitely don't want Tree.
I know
What would Moo want to play?
in one of Knoxville's earlier stats, he did say that Oracle was one of the most successful supports of the TI10 qualifiers. So maybe we'll see that come out. They did ban Enchantress.
It could be good to, if DP goes Yules or something, you can just take her down out of it or whatever as well. Something like that could be kind of nice. I'm wondering now, the way that you're talking about that, like if black and yellow do just feel comfortable putting all that pressure on their supports, and maybe that's why they picked this Clockwork, who's hopefully going to be able to make up for that lack of like initial initiation. He can try and get more farm on this hero. Or if they're going to swap like DP to 1 or something and do the old switcheroo again and then take like a puck or something or some weird hero like that mid as a last phase. But that also, I mean, no matter what, it's a little bit weird, right?
Yeah, would
Witch
that work
Doctor,
long term? Would that work long term against a Luna?
If they can take all the buildings down before like Luna really comes online, maybe. But yeah, it's pretty tough.
I want to see Yamsun Morphling again. Is it in the pool? No, it's not. Alright, we gotta figure something else out here.
Yeah, they didn't want to see it.
Yeah, they didn't.
Knoxville?
Juggernaut seems pretty good versus this as well, if that's in the pool. It is.
Yes, Juggernaut is in.
But quickly about the Witch Doctor real quick. It's also a pseudo hero. It's not one of like the stronger healers of the patch. He has a lot more play options, I guess. He can either heal or he can do a lot of damage. So I said Timber might not have a hard lane, but for Luna Witch Doctor, that's definitely a hard lane. That is an incredibly hard lane for Timbersaw. He could have an awful laning stage against that particular matchup if things
Gosh.
go slightly south for them. So it's very scary. They have to play well, and they went for the Juggernaut. So
There's the jug that you mentioned too. Well, it looks like these two teams are fully drafted. What draft do you think it comes out on top?
What can you do?
I think I'm gonna put my money here on bumblebees. To be honest, we haven't seen a ton of Invoker recently, but I think that that's the hero that's going to like enable so much of this stuff. But it does look like a free jug game, so if Yamsun can somehow manage to find the farm, he can maybe carry this out. We'll see what he does.
What are your thoughts, Fear?
Yeah, I think I have a feeling they actually might put the Witch Doctor with the Centaur, and that might make Yamsun's game a little hard, and it's hard for me to bet against Luna in this patch just because of the ease of execution of this hero. And I think Jug is kind of hard to pull off, so I'm probably going to have to go with the Bumblebees here, even though I think both drafts are good in this particular game.
Ooh, we have two good drafts, and we have two caster analysts saying that Bumblebees is going to pull it out in game one over Black and Yellow. Let me think, though. I really... I just...
It's hard.
I don't know about this DP pick. When
Yeah, me too.
at first I wasn't sure, but then when you, Fear, and Lyrical both explained it to me, I'm like, maybe that's not a good pick. But I don't know. I guess it really depends on what they're going to do, if they're going to focus on the Timbersaw versus the Juggernaut. I feel like that really determines for me who I think will come out on top. But I guess since we have two for Bumblebees, I will go with Black and Yellow because I like to see this rivalry continue. So,
Someone's
gentlemen,
gotta win.
I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and step on out. You guys can take over. Lyrical and Fear, take it away. Game one.
And just like that, we've already got the sheeshes going. The game is starting. Fear. We both did not really like the DP pick. So what can you do? Is the coming out, man. These voice lines from these guys, there's something else, aren't they? They're just gonna be like inhabiting the entire region for a while.
Yeah, I mean, I say I don't like it, but it's like a really Black and Yellow thing to do.
Yeah.
Like right now, Esk is outside of that one Storm game, which I thought he played phenomenally. He even played it versus Nyx. He hasn't really been playing much initiators for this team. It's been more of like the TA, kind of like ranged mid laner that does a lot of damage. So what I'm most curious to see though is how bE is going to, how do I call them, the Bumblebees? I'm just calling them bE. How bE is gonna like do their lane setup, because I feel like this Jug is gonna have a field day if Nyx is laning against him with the Centaur. But they might be able to lane this Nyx with the Luna against the Timbersaw. That is
Right.
a possibility, but it will give Timber a better game too. So they have to kind of like balance, like, what do they prioritize here? And I honestly think if they can get away with this Luna bottom lane with the Nyx, they should do that, because this Jug having a free game is really scary. Spin is so good in this game versus
Right.
all this magic damage.
Totally. That's sort of the thing that I'm curious about too, is like wherever Moo goes, it feels like in a way this Witch Doctor is going to be the one that really puts that pressure on. And it looks like for now, at least, he's heading down bottom while Nyx is there to scout everybody else's movements, maybe throw a stun out there the rest of the way as well. See how it goes. So an interesting decision to start this one out. And I think he's TPing all the way up to the top side. So Jug will have a good time.
Yeah,
being
I mean, I guess
said-
it is 4 melee heroes in the top lane, so it could get
Right.
messy up here.
Yeah, that's fair. I guess that's one question though, is like if they can manage to like sort of outplay in this lane for the side of Black and Yellow, or rather on the side of bEE's, then maybe you can make something happen. So 26 time Envy and Jubei have faced off against each other. Envy has had 21-5, 80% win rate, and then Jubei's won the last 2 of them. I don't know if it's called like a long-standing rivalry. It feels at least like it was just this most recent iteration. I don't know. Are there any really long-standing rivalries that exist nowadays between Dota? It feels like people tend to just sort of give up after a while on it.
I feel like a lot of these stats with some of these players like Jubei are a bit skewed, because he's been playing for a long time, but has been on like pretty bad teams, right? Where
fair.
it was like a pushover, where now this Black and Yellow squad is actually competitive and can beat them, so I don't think it's like that bad.
Okay, I'm with you. Well, In the meantime, up top, quick little spin to kill off the wave, get a couple denies in there as well. Yamsun having a much better time than on that Morph lane against, it was Arkosh, right? I'm not losing my mind.
Yeah, that was 3 deaths in 1 minute. Like, whew.
That was wild. But yeah, having a very, very good time there as Jubei's able to get a little bit of zoning out. And this does mean the creep wave is going to meet underneath the tower, a second wave coming in afterwards. That will push out and give a little bit of a better time to the side of the bEE's. And mid lane so far, very even. 10-3 versus 10-1. And a creep
Look
wave
at that
coming
build
into
on
Esk.
Invoker. He really wants some CS.
Whoa.
All
He's-
stats right there. And then the urn queued up. He's gonna have to start making nulls and selling some of those. That's a crazy build. I don't know if I've seen that before.
68 base damage on Quast Wex Invoker. That's nuts.
Probably, yeah, it's probably why CS is so good, right?
Yeah. That's really cool. Whatever works, right? At least in the early goings, it looks like Zero's been a little bit pushed back, but still getting levels. And some of this also is Flea heading over in this area. They did get a block on the Ancients. So Flea will have to
very
bring
nice.
out another Sentry Ward to deward that.
Yeah, they did their homework. Like, last time Black and Yellow played this, they mega stacked those Ancients for him. This Timber like took over the game. It was actually against bE too, so
They watch the replays.
yeah. Yeah, so I'm very curious because like I played a bit with Roya, and he generally speaking did not favor the Invoker too much. So I'm very curious on like how he's gonna perform on this hero because it's not one of the heroes that is one of his go-tos in the patch. So should be interesting. I also have not seen a lot of Esk DP. Like I don't know what their read is on this hero because I don't understand it, but there had to be something about seeing Luna and Nyx that I didn't understand fully. Maybe it's the silence or something against the Nyx that they really prioritize. We'll see what he can do with it.
Yeah, that's a good point. I guess that is one of the weird things is that like with the Spike Carapace out of Vendetta or whatever, you're probably not going to be able to break that onto Esk unless he's like queuing up a Crypt Swarm or something like that. But obviously the mana burn sounds really nice against the DP as well. We'll have to keep our eyes on it in the mid game and see what ends up happening. But for now, at least having a perfectly fine time. And as you mentioned, Invoker also on Roya, though it may not be one that he's like. I mean, I feel like I remember seeing him. Maybe it was like a couple patches ago when he was playing it more often than before. But certainly seems to be doing well on it right now in this game.
Yeah, I'm just more curious about how his rotations are going to look like
Okay.
in this hero. I have no doubt in his laning ability on any hero. It's just more like how he's going to play the map on certain heroes. And yeah, both side lanes, the carries are having a field day here. I think the lane on for Envy is much harder for the Timber to win, but I'm a little surprised Centaur is doing this poorly. Like, he has a little more CS now, but a lot of these are those small neutrals. I don't think his net worth is that amazing.
Yeah, that is a little bit weird, isn't it? He's what 200 gold behind the Timber right now, so was I think trying to play around a little bit up on that top side of the map and was getting contested by the Jug slightly, so could be that as part of the issue. I think he got spun on a few times, had to ferry out a bit more regen before he got that Ring of Health. But now with creeps coming in towards him, we'll see how he does. Level 4. Not really that many rotation-oriented heroes, with the exception of that Invoker once he gets more levels, are there?
Yep, I mean, typical Black and Yellow fashion, they don't really have much rotation unless
Right.
Zero is playing the Dragonite. And that's pretty a late rotation because he doesn't really rotate till the Blink Dagger. So they're cool just sitting around, so it's really going to be up to Roya. If he wants to, he can be the one that creates chaos in this game and makes Black and Yellow feel uncomfortable with good rotations.
No.
Oh, Moo might be in trouble here.
Yeah, coming over to try and find himself another block on the Ancients. Does get it down and also stops another stack, but will get chased. Can they kill? Oh, missed the chains? Doesn't matter. We'll end up dying. And does Flea have another sentry? Yes, he does.
That was First Blood, even though the tower got it, so it's a split First Blood.
Not bad, not bad. Yeah, so gets the D ward there, gonna try and go for another round of stacking ancients here. I mean, that's kind of cool, right? Like, obviously losing first blood sucks, but putting so much emphasis there, and gonna pop Exo, going right away into the middle, and Jube able to find Roya Mu there as well, to buy a little bit of extra space. Oh, good stun from Flea! Had no vision. Do they have detection? Does not look like it, or at least not wanting to drop any down at the moment. So they're going to get actually not that much damage onto the tower either. Only about a quarter of the Exo left.
That was a maybe, I don't know if like what to call that, just maybe a little inexperienced, but like once they zoned him out, Esk
Right.
should not have chased. Like he could have gotten way much more damage out of that Exo on that tower, but
Right.
he went for a kill, they didn't get it, so yep. Exo went down and they didn't get much damage on the tower, so that's a win for bE.
Could see up top there, Yemsun got very much in the face of King Ao, was able to get a spin on him, but didn't have the mana left over afterwards for the Omni Slash. So now, Jube right on top of Z-Freak. They have spin available, just gonna try and run this guy down. Oh, barely enough damage. Now, Mr. King Ao also in some trouble. Oh my god, the stun though. Just try and turn that with the Maledict, and showing up as Roya doesn't have the mana again to get off Omni that might have kept him alive. So they lose their Jug. Good reactions coming in from the bEE's.
Yeah, really good. A little surprising to see that Black and Yellow's 1k up after this early game. Really got a lot out of this mid lane, it looks like, from Esk. A lot of the difference coming from there, but that was a great rotation for Roya to bring down that Juggernaut, who was having a free game, as we talked about, going against the double melee.
Well, and then out of the gate as well, Zero now is down here on the bottom side, has himself a full creep wave that he's pulled through. Going over to check to see if that camp's available, and it looks like Z-Freak is going to make the creep pull off of the tower, so that will keep the pressure from it going down. Don't have a catapult right now, so not too much damage done to the tower as we wait for Envy to get back into this, who's just sort of gone into jungle farming mode.
Yeah, look how many dire sentries are on the map here. I guess from both teams. Like the meta in NA is really just like developing to where everyone's just gonna spam sentries in camps, around camps to deward these sentries in the camps, and just play for stacking.
Jeez.
It's not a lot of aggressive teams right now. Everyone's playing for their efficiency, and so you see like this battle of warding going on in these games.
I mean, it reminds me of like when we were seeing the Nature's Prophet blocking out camps as well. I think that there were a couple of times that we saw that at the major also, and just trying to like deny out that farming. I guess that's just all a function of picking these carries that, you know, are all about how fast can we out farm you, you know, and maybe if the meta changes away from that, this stuff will go a little bit out of vogue or what have you as well.
Yeah, I mean, it is the meta, but it's also just like, it's the NA meta specifically,
Okay.
right? Because I could imagine like a team that hasn't had a lot of success recently. These voice lines, man.
Dude, let me
What's
tell you,
going on?
I muted all 10 players. I literally went in there and I muted all 10 players because I knew this was going to happen.
Yeah, they just all spammed and chain. What can you do?
Nice.
I think that's the Jubei line, but yeah. Anyway, so like. You would see OG come out in like the last couple of TIs just play so aggressive against teams that would do this, but I don't think there's any team in NA that really favors that type of fast aggressive play style right now. So everyone's just gonna play for the efficiency. There's gonna be a lot of warding. There's gonna be a lot of poor supports.
Right.
There's gonna be a lot of stacking. Welcome to NA.
Whole lot of stacking, and we'll see if they recognize that, hey, our stack didn't work. That means that there's probably a ward over there. As Envy picks up the bounty, do they get any pings out there? Do they realize? They might just think that I messed it up or something. We'll see. No
Might
call
as well
for any
just
sentries.
deward it just for good measure, you know.
Right. But yeah. Esk has decided to move on down bottom now. As you can see, Yamsum and Jubei over there on the top side of the map. But it looks like they want to try and make use of the second exorcism and should be able to take this tower down with no glyph available. Pretty tough to get that.
Good read by Z-Freak. I've seen a lot of players just die down there, just defending the tower and getting XP, but he realized there was no hope, and he just got out of there. So he didn't have to feed that kill.
Oh. Good play, good play. Actually, only taking the 1 point in Carapace. We've seen a couple of times against like these Timbers or something. Nyx is maxing that out as Zero actually shows up on the top wave. And after already taking a tier 1, he feels kind of comfy staying here. I don't know if King Out can really force him out at all or not. Probably with everybody they can, but he does have some help in the area on Zero.
Yeah, I think this is a good play by Black and Yellow to try and defend this, and it's really good by the bEE's to bring more heroes, otherwise Timber will not get kicked out. He has no armor stack, so he's not super strong right now yet. And DD on Invoker.
Seeing what they can do, trying to kill this creep wave, and then afterwards has to take down that catapult at about half HP, and they're actually even going to use the glyph here to keep that pressure on. This does mean that the next Exo will be that much stronger, but it looks like they are going to be able to secure that tower, and well, Tornado a little bit off the mark. So Black and Yellow lose their tier 1 as well. And we do just reset, but you can see Black and Yellow gain a little bit better the exchange over the last couple of minutes. Now going to go for a smoke, 2k gold lead.
Yeah, they had to use... Oh, there it is. Trying to go for it.
A little bit off the mark, but they're looking. Z-Freak.
I think they're trying to get the Luna, but Envy's out of there. He's going to go right back to the triangle. He's got his rotation. He's going to farm all the way up to the triangle and back to that camp down there, it looks like. And he's going to give the Centaur all the farm on the top till Dagger, then probably switch places.
Okay. Got it. How close away is he to getting that one? About 1,000 gold on the Centaur, but Zero is going to come up and try and make sure that he doesn't get anything for free. As Esk, gets caught there, and that was Yule's Scepter used, and just going to be able to bring him down. So an easy move there for Ryoya, who gets the kill. Very nicely played.
Yep, that's a huge kill. Esk was really high in the net worth. This is shaping out for now, if this continues, to be like another one of those Luna 1v5 games. All the cores on Black and Yellow are doing slightly better than, albeit the Luna, right? So we'll see what Envy can do with this, or if the other cores can find a way to get into the game. They're not really playing with the Centaur very much. They're really just focused on stacking for Envy right now, whereas Black and Yellow's, they're all kind of just playing for their own game right now on all their cores.
They'll find Zero here for a moment. Moo in the area. Oh, everything dropped. And I don't know if that hood's going to keep you alive, buddy. Throws out the Chakram. Oh, Finger of Death, though. The kill there on the Z-Freak. They do take down Zero. As Flea hoping to find more, but it's only him and Jubei nearby. Finger already down means there's no opening for a catch there. So showing a little bit already the strength of that Nyx Assassin against the Timber.
Yep, that was a really good kill. They brought the heroes, they got the kill. Luna's farming all the while. I'm just wondering what the timing's going to be for Black and Yellow. They don't really have any clear timings with the way they draft, the way I see it. Whereas I know the clear timing for the bEE's are going to be blink on Centaur, go smoke, look for kills. As usual, Black and Yellow, they're just going to play on their side of the map. Maybe wait for bE to overextend a little bit and then try to punish.
Yeah. I mean, that's the part that's so weird about it too, though, right? Is that it feels like the bEE's are super comfortable just sitting back and letting Envy farm and like not really trying to pressure. Like Roya's going for a freaking Hand of Midas right now. These couple pickoffs right here, this is great to take down Jubei for them. And well, he is going to die rather rapidly. Gets another Spirit Vessel charge for Ryoya. And now they've sort of retaken over this side of the map a little bit more.
Yep. More stacking. Oh, this there's so much stacking in these games.
Right?
Every time I look, there's like one of their carries is just farming a stack. Makes me feel like Yamsun should just bought a Battle Fury this game.
Right, I was wondering about that, if that's like even a build anymore, but it feels like everybody hates it on these melee carries.
I mean, it is better if you want to farm Triangle on the Juggernaut, but overall, like, it's not the best item anymore, because generally speaking, you want to play a little more aggro with the Juggernaut, but he sure doesn't this game, that's for sure. But this is still a fine build with the Maelstrom. Just the
Nice
Maelstrom
play.
build combos much better with like the later on when you get the Shard and the Mjolnir.
Yeah,
Has good synergy.
for sure. Can see their Moo in position and ready to immediately break that smoke, defending the area where Rhea was farming at so he wouldn't get caught. Would love to see Flea get into a Blink Dagger, and he actually is getting relatively close. 1,600 gold in the bank right now. That being said, Centaur also did just complete his, has it on him right now, and it looks like they're looking for a play themselves. As, well, a spot there. D-Ward. Flea just comfy. He's been able to stand here in the mid lane and be perfectly fine.
Flea always finds his farm, it seems like, and in this particular game, he's actually a really big kill. He's level 9. I think he took the tome away from Jubei. Jubei got level 6 at 15 minutes, and he's close to a dagger, so he's actually a really big kill if they do. The worst kill on the map is Jubei. Like,
right.
He's not going to scale this game at all, but killing this line could be... Any core plus Jubei is actually a good kill right now. The piggy bank is Juggernaut if they can get it, but he's a real hard kill.
Yeah, I don't even know how you go about that. Like, anything is just spinnable. I guess like a Nyx stun.
Into Centaur stun,
yeah.
You got to burst him in a stun.
Jubei finds one. Backs out though, doesn't have mana afterwards. Ooh, trying to interrupt the stomp. The double cogs push back, but...
Oh, Death Ward too. They really hate Jubei in this game.
Yeah, man.
I guess it was only a 4-man gang, so... They didn't lose out that much in efficiency. Roy just farmed it up with... He's got his Midas now. With the Spirit Vessel. Not too bad. And this is what most Invokers go for, because they like to run around the map and just gank, and they can't really farm jungle with this Quasflex build very well. So this Midas helps them keep their net worth in like a good spot.
And of course, getting those levels that much quicker is so nice as well. For
he stacked too.
Damn,
I mean, these teams are like clockwork with the stacking. Even the mids are stacking. Maybe Envy's like yelling for it because he's a very vocal player and he'll let people know that he needs his farm and he'll tell you exactly what he needs to get it. Right. So they're on the same page of what they want to do this game.
Oh, look at this though. This ward place down is gonna spot Envy heading over. If they were just a little bit quicker there, that would have been a huge play for Black and Yellow, as Flea did just have his Blink Dagger done, but maybe they're just going to have to settle for this tier 1 tower mid if that's even something they want to go for. Eskis here has Exo level 2, and a ward back behind the tower by Flea, so yeah, this one should be pretty easy to clean up here. Question is, will they come to try and kick the bEE's out of their own jungle, or are they going to be content just taking over the bottom side of the map?
Just farm. I think they need to wait for this BKB on Death Prophet. BKB is like invulnerability for the next 10 minutes of the game. But, alright, they're gonna go. Alexa running out. They might want to reconsider this one shortly.
Yeah, the Exorcism just killed Roya's courier and Moo's courier. But like you said, it's running out now, and they have everything available. But they found him! Raya caught right at the start, goes for that stun afterwards. Do they have enough in the tank? Jump through, tries to get him. It's not quite there, but Envy, he's going to get Omni Slash down for the kill. Raya tries to back away, tries to get out. Do they have any more detection? They don't. So Raya will escape, but a great catch there. And they managed to take down the Luna for the Lion.
Yeah, that looked a little bit of a mistake for Envy charging in there without his initiators leading first. They even had like the stampede going, and he got overzealous there trying to kill the Lion. Didn't finish him off in time. Got to regroup a little bit, got the hook shot, the silence, and then finger it up, finished the Luna off. So I would say that was a little bit crazy by Black and Yellow, but maybe that is just what makes their team good.
Yeah, don't anticipate it. As Z-Freak, nowhere left to go. Cancels his TP, tries to get out of there. As soon as he saw Jubei, realized it wasn't going to work. And they do manage to find themselves the Nyx kill as well. So very even game at this point. The tier 1 tower still stands in the mid lane for Black and Yellow. And that's probably the biggest objective that's sort of remaining on the map to try and be claimed. That's shutting down these B moves that they want to make. Oh, blink forward, Flea. Dude, this Blink Dagger timing has been so clutch. And now Jubei's got the Centaur. No Stampede available, and he is going to fall. So finding a couple of these picks that are just a little bit, sloppy moves, it feels like, from the bEE's.
Yeah, watching Black and Yellow is kind of like watching as like when is Flea's timing? And that's when they feel like they're ready to go.
Right.
What can you do?
They were totally fine just farming AFK for like 15 minutes. They've done this many games in a row. It's all about Flea, the initiator for the team. Jubei might be playing Clockwork, but they're not doing anything until Flea's initiating, it feels like.
And he found him!
What can you do?
Dude, anticipating the movement, catches him there, no ward necessary. They take down Royoya. He just anticipated where the Invoker was going to be and blink dusted. Found him. Really good play.
Boy's a beast. He's setting up everything for this team. What I'm worried about for not black and yellow, sorry, the bEE's, is that this Luna here is proven to be very strong, but when you're playing versus Juggernaut and you don't have like this Oracle or Wyvern for the Luna, she's going to be very burstable if Flea ever gets on top of her. All they have is the Stampede, I guess. That could be a very good tool for them. So Flea might have to initiate with the Impale instead of the Hex, because Hex is not very effective versus hasted units. But I'm feeling a little worried about this game for the bEE's if this Juggernaut is ahead of net worth of this Luna with the Nagus.
Yeah, that's when things get really scary for sure. And, you know, we've seen sometimes, like, you know, Lunas go for E-Blades or something to try and deal with the Omni Slash. I mean, that's been a couple of times at the very least, but it's not like the preferred build, I feel like, for sure. Like, things just get weird, it feels like, more often
I wouldn't
than not.
want to build E-Blade. Maybe its teammates can build him E-Blade, but
There you
it
go.
feels pretty bad to buy it yourself.
It's all, you know, a bunch of agi. All right, never mind. I'm not going to try and convince you. When it came out of my mouth, it didn't even sound good.
It's not awful, but it's not a preferred build by any Luna player.
Well, smoke now. bEE's trying to catch them unawares, but Jubei there to break the smoke. Completely whiffs the hook shot, but I don't know if it really matters that much. Wait a minute. Gets the cogs down. They can't join up with the rest of their squad. Stampede comes out afterwards. Stun. Ooh, good amount of damage with that Finger of Death as Z-Freak. Still standing through it. So they managed to bait out the Stampede, but lose Jubei in the process. So yeah, he's going to be okay there.
Yeah, I mean, not that bad for Black and Yellow. It could have been really good for them. It's just, unfortunately, Jubei just did not get the initiation he was hoping for, so
Right.
they ended up just losing Jubei. Once again, Jubei is like, he's just a distraction. He's the real Pos 6 this game. Like, him dying in this game has very little impact, but at some point in the game, he will need to start hitting some hooks so Juggernaut can get the damage in. But for now, him just dying in a random engagement and they back, it's okay for now.
For sure. Especially when you're breaking like the big smoke play that's coming in as well. Like,
Yeah.
that's like the job done by and large. If you can get more, it's all gravy. But so 7 to 8. You talked about the timing of this Death Prophet BKB. She's got it now. You said that this was like a strong window for them, regardless of the Aegis. But now they also have the Aegis. I mean, how strong of a window is this for Black and Yellow? Do they need to take advantage of it and try and like push the tempo right now, or do you think that they can feel okay with just using this one to farm and make the bigger plays with like second Roche?
I think Juggernaut DP, and I guess Timber as well, is such a high tempo lineup that I'd like to see them start knocking on bEE's door. Start taking some tier 2s, go for the outpost, Juggernaut bottom lane. It looks like they're trying to set something up on him here. It could work if he's not wary of this. We'll see his reaction speed here. Oh, his presence of mind better than reaction speed.
Oh, Yamsun, and the Meteor Hammer comes afterwards with the hoof stomp, everything. Now, that is the Aegis down, has spin afterwards. The rest of the team's coming in. They want some retribution. They're looking for an opening here. Is Clockwork in position? He's copping around the side. Jump forward, able to catch onto Luna, in some trouble. Jubei trying to find that backline, able to catch the Witch Doctor. So they'll take down Luna, they'll take down Moo, Black and Yellow, and now finding another afterwards. If they can get King out here too, diving back behind the fountain. Oh my god, they've lost their mind, Fear. They're absolutely insane. Diving the fountain here at 24 minutes. They're still at tier 2. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, the BKB on Timbersol there. He doesn't. This is the Nyx counter, right?
Yeah.
It's online. He just goes in. They see Z-Freak and they get the silence.
Ooh.
Oh, the hammer. Oh. Alright, they got
big hammer.
interrupt.
I mean, there wouldn't have been any follow-up after that anyways, probably. Oh, wait, they have Ags. Oh, that would have been huge. Oh, man. If he would have hit that Meteor Hammer
Is that Ags on who?
on Invoker.
Oh, yeah, his Sunstrike, I don't know if it was off cooldown though. It may have been.
Damn. Oh, and they
Oh.
found him! Up on the high ground, they got him, Roya! He's completely dead! They dive through, they kill the Invoker. The last couple of minutes have just been tragic for the bEE's as they lose hero after hero, and now they're going to lose a tier 3 tower. I don't know
Yeah,
what
I mean,
happened.
Flea is playing out of his mind.
Well, they jump forward, find a stun, trying to slow this down, but they won't be denied. There's the hook shot in afterwards. Jubei finds himself a target. They're going to Meteor Hammer afterwards, but I don't think he cares all that much, but need to back away. Gotta be careful, get what they came for. Jump forward, finds one. Not looking like it's quite enough. I mean, their damage is starting to slow down a little bit. They need to get these racks and get out. Flea tried to jump forward and catch Envy, but couldn't quite find the angle. The healing ward not dying. They're keeping that one alive, and now it looks like they're finally gonna retreat away. King Ao tries to go for that stomp, won't get it. Esk pops BKB, deciding if they want to stay or go, thinking about a turn, but they're gonna leave. They do have Omni Slash back up, but maybe it's a bit too crazy. Spend your money.
They don't need to do anything more than what they did. That was great. They're gonna have Scotty very soon on the Juggernaut now too, and probably just wait for your BKB and Exorcism now and go again. So they ended up turning, like, that was a bit of a mistake there from Yamsun to be down there by himself and getting picked off, but it didn't matter because they used everything to get the Aegis, and luckily Black and Yellow smoked out right after the Aegis despawn, or they took the Aegis, and they took a beautiful fight after that, so I'm glad they took advantage and they didn't just let him die and TP out just to safety and waste it. Oh, nice attempt again by Jubei.
Yeah, he breaks the
It's
smoke.
the bait.
He's away, and now they found him.
He's the bait.
They made it work. Dodge is just a little ring around there. That took a lot of damage from that one, and little pause. Hopefully he gets back here in a second. But yeah, he's constantly baiting. He's there.
Yeah, the last time they played, Amson was TCing a lot too. Someone get this man some better internet.
Right? Well, it is
It's not the time to be DCing.
No, definitely not. And again, like this team, I mean, you had said previously that you really felt like their undying match for Black and Yellow, it looked like they actually had stood a chance and they were kind of close to winning. Based upon like the way that they've played this as well, should they be like the kind of, I mean, this is going back to the beginning. Do you feel like they're kind of the favorites to win this? I mean, obviously this game, they're looking really good, but as a whole as well, how do you feel about this Black and Yellow team right now, just like on the whole?
I feel like if Flea's having a good game, pretty much no team other than Undying and Zoomers have a chance versus them.
Really?
He's just playing too good. He's like individually making everything happen for this team.
All right.
He's making so many kills happen, and if you're not in an environment where you're playing really tight and close and punishing him, or you're not in a position to get jumped like this is like the only way you can really deal with it. But so far, his initiations in this game have been great, and I love this gym pickup. Like, in these games where people are just spamming sentries and wards, this gym has so much value across the map. Yeah.
And then immediately afterwards into the Aeon disc, he's just getting all those items that will like keep him alive, make sure that he's going. He's almost ahead of the Centaur in terms of net worth. Well, I guess not almost. He's 14k behind, but 1400 behind. But nonetheless, yeah, I think that he's definitely been, him and Zero have been two of the standout players on this team, making like some of the best moves. And I talked about this before in one of the other matches, but you know, he's missed out at this point on TI by one game. I think 3 consecutive TIs in a row, whether it was trying to compete and get in through South America or trying to get in through North America. He's always been just like one game away from getting, and sort of one of the very well-known players across the North American region that just hasn't quite gotten there. There's always like 1 or 2 of them, but he was definitely feeling hungry in the interview that I did with him talking about it. So I don't know. We'll see. Based upon the way that Black and Yellow have stepped up their game, particularly in this one, and then, you know, throughout the whole qualifiers, there's a chance, there's a way, there's a possibility. Who knows? Anything can happen, Fear.
Yeah. I mean, I'd like to see him in that position again of being at least 1 game away from qualifying for TI. But yeah, so like in this particular game, if I'm comparing his impact towards, let's say, pretty much Ryoya or Z Freak or King RD, they're not really finding these openings, and it's not one particular player's fault because Flea's only job is to like start the fight, but you need your team to follow up, right? So
Right.
even if like you do start a fight, let's say on King RD, you need your team to follow, and bE aren't putting themselves in a position to not only find the kills outside of killing the Aegis and getting team wiped and losing their racks, but
Right.
getting a kill on the map where you pressure black and yellow.
Right.
And that's just been the story of this game, where I haven't seen these initiations. I haven't seen the map movement from bE. They have had really good farming efficiency thanks to EE, but the aggressive side of this team is like someone needs to start captaining it, because I know EE can't focus on his own efficiency and also tell people how to like play a bit more aggressive. But I'm afraid that part of the game might just be over now, and it's like in the team fight territory time now.
Right.
bE is going to have to run around as 5 now, and they're going to have to rely on their team fight execution being a racks down. So we'll see how they do now that they're going to be forced to be grouped up more.
Right. Yeah, I mean that's sort of going to be the big telling point, is if that's something that can change it, if that was the issue that they're having before. And again, I think back to that moment where Z Freak hit a 3-person stun, was about to hit into a 3-person meteor. There was the Centaur and the Invoker up on the high ground, like, you know, Cataclysm ready to go. But then it was Flea there throughout the Impale that interrupts the Meteor Hammer. That could have been the turning point. If one of those was able to sort of isolate Flea, get him away, maybe everything ends up looking better off of the back of that. But regardless, here we go. Zero runs in, finds that Hex right at the start afterwards from Flea. Finger of Death, Centaur in trouble, Centaur dead. The BKB on Timber has been perfect. And he's going to scale too, because he's got this Kai Assange now. This dude is stacked.
It's a black and yellow Zero and Flea combo, man. Like, Flea can't do this by himself. He can't just jump in blind. Because you know, Zero just gets in there, gets him the vision, pops his BKB, and then they wanted to get the Luna there, but they're happy with the Centaur kill.
Totally.
Like, the synergy between these two has been very impressive to watch.
Well, that is going to be another tier 2 tower assaulted now. Yamsun back and in the flesh yet again. Does have the Aghanim Scepter queued up next after finishing off that Scotty. So he's going to have a ton of damage potential out there. Has the Shard as well as that Blade Fury DPS talent. And Roche, a minute before it's capable of respawning again. So the next tier of items coming back up. Ooh, that's a good one though. Spider legs. It's too good. It's too freaking good.
Yep, especially on these carries that want to get like, oh, he's going for a Hurricane Pike on Envy. He's feeling a little pressured. The thing about this item versus Juggernaut is, if you're in the middle of like the team fight, it can save you, but it'll follow your Force Staff if you try Force Staffing away from him. So it might not save him, but at the same time, if he does it at a right angle at the right time, it could save him. But
this is not going to save him if he's not careful. Oh, Cataclysm though. Nice chunk of damage, and Flea is dead, but Rainan-esque on top of all of them. Next Assassin, Envy, he pops the Eclipse, trying to turn, but the Omni Slash is solo onto Envy. Can they kill him off in time? It's enough. They got him. They take down both the Nyx and the Luna, and Black and Yellow keep streaming forward. They're not going to be denied.
Yeah, that was out the Finger of Death too from the line. This Juggernaut can almost fool to zero the Luna with one Omni Slash right now, looks like, if every slash hits, and it'll only get worse when this Aghanim comes online.
Wow. 12,000 gold lead now in this game number 1. Black and Yellow on the grudge match, taking down the bEE's, at least at this point in time in the game. And we'll see what ends up happening around this second Roche. This has so often been what decides these matches. You can see that drop in terms of like projected win percentage there, according to Dota Plus stuff. But regardless, it is feeling quite good for Black and Yellow.
No, wasn't the meme Envy supposed to get stronger when he loses at Barracks?
You know, you're not wrong.
It's not looking like it this game.
I don't know. Gotta brush up on the memes.
Gotta make a new one.
Right? This is what happens when you face the team you tried to kick from itself.
Yeah, I guess.
It's the,
Don't want to get too much into that, but that might be like some karma or something.
Who knows? Who knows? 30 minutes in, and 8-16. We've got minute 30. Where are we gonna go? Z-Freak, he's going towards that Agnum Scepter. I think this is 2 components, maybe a third one that's on the courier or something, ready to go for this Nyx Assassin. Yeah, it's only 800 gold away.
That'll help their high ground defense, but I think that's about it. I don't think it'll help too much in these these engagements like outside of their base, but if they want to try and siege on black and yellow, they'll have to just do a spin and back every time, so they do have a way to still deal with it. But it's definitely nice to have, for sure. It's a little awkward with the meteor hammer though, because I don't think you can ever use the hammer while like the range, right, on the other spells
you don't get the
way
bonus
more
range. Got it.
Yeah. So not a ton of synergy there, but maybe it won't matter. Maybe the hammer's just a farming tool for Z-Freak.
Yeah. Taking some building damage too. I mean, you know, if they only have a Luna, what? Sure, it's fine.
I haven't like outside of that tier 1 top, like bEE's are not interested in anything but creeps.
Right.
These tier 1s are still up.
Yeah, the fact that mid is still up is wild. But what's the next timing? We've got ourselves the BKB on Roya. Again, he has that Agnum Scepter. It can all turn in an instant if you find a big stun out there. Ooh, they're underneath the ward right now. Gotta be careful. Jump up to the... What? Please, on the cliff. And now King RD, he's stuck up here as well. 4 staff down to the low ground, still living. And that Yule Scepter lift up. Great tornado. Where's the follow? They've traded 1 for 1 now, but that's Exorcism down as well. And this is Roche back up. No buyback on Flea. Ugh, a little awkward, a little weird.
Yeah, that was indeed a little awkward. They would defend this Roche. Potentially, this is a big window with Exorcism being down. They probably still don't need Exorcism, but what they do need is they need mana on 0. Like, he needs to get some mana real fast.
Yeah, he's gonna TP
otherwise
back
they can't defend this Roche. But with Flea respawning, Z-Freak and the boys are gonna probably not go in the pit, but they're gonna look for a pick right now.
Jubei, 4 staffs away, tries to get out of there. Oh, drops down that cogs, looking for a way out. First round, Swift Slash. King RD taking a ton of damage. The spin down, is it enough? The Finger of Death finishes him off, and now the Omni afterwards, blowing them all to pieces. Moo gets destroyed, and now Z-Freak also burrowed, trying to take him down. They get the kill. So 2-3 taken down, and now clear access to Roshan.
I've seen so many like weird initiations this game. King RD overblinks, misses the clockwork. It should have been just a quick clock kill, and then after that they could have reassessed what they want to do. But he overshot his blink, and Jubei got his cogs off and survived for a long time. And then all of a sudden, Centaur's just in a very awkward spot and gets taken down.
Man, super weird there for them for sure. And you know, the constant smoke breaks that we've been seeing from Jubei have been absolutely clutch. It feels like he's always there, like predicting what they're going to be doing next, and of course that leads into some like weird chaos happening, which is only good if you know you're the team that doesn't need to execute perfectly at this point in time in the game. But now Aegis Cheese, the Shard, given over to the Lion, so it's going to give him some more survivability in this in these fights. As the scan will connect.
It gives him magic immunity, right? And versus this, he might be able to tank through some potential stuns or just anything. Maybe another initiation from the Centaur might just miss.
Right. Dude, that would be sick. Precast the mana drain so that you BKB is Stomp. Let's go.
I mean, that's how you play line. You just drop all your spells and you just mana burn in the middle of a fight, magic immune, and you just hope for the best.
Right. Oh, now you can actually have a hope for surviving.
Yeah, and us too, so he can actually just sit on top of the Sunstrike if he wants. He won't die.
Right. Well, E showed top there for a second. Ooh, stun. Yamsun. Oh, they thought E wasn't there, so there was going to be enough to get him away. Is this just Aegis? I mean, healing ward coming in. trying to keep
He
him
should
alive.
be okay with Healing Word.
Okay.
S and Y Healing Word OP.
Yeah, that's true. Damn. 220 healing per second. What? That's wild.
Yeah,
All
you
right.
almost don't want to get Mant on this hero just for that interaction. It's real good.
It's Sanja's silly.
Probably getting nerfed next patch. It's already been nerfed like twice, I believe, since it was changed, and
Right.
still strong.
So how do you break high ground right now if you're black and yellow? They have so much high ground defense, it feels like, on the bEE's.
You're just gonna have to do it slowly with spin, heavy spin cooldown, because if you don't do that, you're going to either I'm not sure, they have glyph up, yeah, they're gonna fight into a glyph, you're gonna get chain stunned into like some combo, and it's gonna feel really awkward. So it's always safe to just like kind of farm, take map control, and just contain them until you do find that pick.
Right.
But if you want to force the issue, you need to get the glyph first, and the way you're going to do that is just by using Juggernaut's spin to just hit it every time it's off cooldown and just back up carefully.
Okay, so it looks like they're going that route that you're talking about, of just playing it more slow, farm out that entire jungle, set up the contain, and be very, I don't know, morale breaking.
Yeah, and I love what Black and Yellow is doing here. Minus, I don't think Yamsun should be taking this farm back here, and Flea is being ultra greedy here. So we'll see if Flea dies here, but I think the Aegis carrier should be taking the most dangerous farm on the map, and the heroes like the Lion, the DP, the Clockwork should be taking all the farm in the back, so that way you're like farming all the neutrals and all 3 lanes, while you're kind of bluffing this Juggernaut in a way, because like you don't really want to go on him because you can't see this line, he's off map, but he's just in the back farming, right? But if he shows on the map like this and the Juggernaut's farming in the back right there, you might just lose your Lion, and that might make you lose control of the map. But the bEE's are, maybe they think they're camping the Lion, I don't know, they have no interest in killing him, so they're getting away with it technically, but I think it's not the most efficient way to do things.
Right, there are openings that, you know, maybe another team might exploit in the future or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think your Undying and Zoomers might not let this happen, so either way, they're doing really well. They regrouped, and they're just gonna pop Exo, and they're gonna go in. There's a spin. Will he sacrifice his life for this? No, he's gonna back.
Backs away. They do have glyph available, which is going to come out now. Maybe he's going to sacrifice his life here. Yamsun. Oh, Swift Slash. Okay, round 1. Still fine. The Hex is out there. King out. Oh, the stun is going to connect, and the Exo will be enough, so they lose that first life. Z-Freak looking for that opening. Impale is back up again. Stun now onto Timber. Yamsun will back out with the spin. So with the Aegis expended, they still had 20 seconds before it was going to be reclaimed. They managed to take down that tier 3 tower, but nothing else yet. And a Shadow Blade for Lion coming out. All right, Flea.
I like it. A lot of people go Glimmer Cape, but this Shadow Blade will pretty much make it a guaranteed initiation, and it guarantees that it's scary to split push. This Shadow Blade is going to be like, hey guys, I don't think I can leave my base. This line has Blink Force Shadow Blade. Like, it's going to be real scary for them. So this Gold Blade should continue, assuming there is no big throws, which I think right now the big throw for
What can you do?
Black and Yellow right now would be to go high ground right now with no Exo and no Aegis. So
They're probably going to back out at this point. It's interesting because I'm wondering now, like, if you're the bEE's, you feel like you still want to just try and hold this high ground. It is incredibly hard for Black and Yellow to push and take this out, but it starts to feel like maybe you need to sneak Envy away to try and get him some farm, and then, you know, he might end up feeding or something like that. Like, with the Aegis down now, do you think that the bEE's are going to feel comfortable actually trying to like push them out and regain a little bit of map control?
I think now that Aegis is gone, they have every opportunity to kill Juggernaut with stun plus Cataclysm combo.
Okay.
That's always an option for them. I have noticed in most of these games, like, it's been hard for players to find this opening. So, I don't know. It's a possibility, but depending on how Juggernaut plays and how safe he plays, I mean, the DP can get bursted here too, but she has no Exo. So even if she goes down here, like, a Juggernaut Omni Slash could determine the team fight. I also
Fair.
say like the biggest throw here that could happen is them going high ground right now, but they could also just win the game here too. It really just depends on
Right.
the spell casting. But I think this is an opening for bE to kind of like win this game. Another opening is if they run out of pause time out of black and yellow, and Yamsun's just disconnected.
Yeah, that would be not great. They had 4 minutes left, as you can see, so hopefully that that connection issue can be solved. I mean, it's definitely not a game that just like plays itself either, you know? Like they need to play this cleanly, even with the 23,000 gold lead. Like you're not going to be able to, I think, get away with just like AFK microing heroes. I don't know, maybe you can, but there's some weird stuff too, where like you can't buy items when you DC2, right? Isn't that a thing?
I don't know about private lobbies, but in pubs, yeah, there's a lot of restrictions.
Yeah.
But once again, I think private lobbies work a little differently than pub games.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, haven't played too many 4v5 official matches, luckily. So
At least not where the 5
But yeah,
or the 4 is
but
your
yeah,
team.
in pubs, you just, I mean, when my teammates disconnect and I still want to play, I just sell all his items but his boots and get extra passive income and hope for the best.
Yeah, let's do it. Flee
But
Aghanims.
Yeah, but you can't buy items for the disconnected player, no.
Right.
This is only pub knowledge, so I don't know how these private lobbies work.
That's fair. Wasn't I feel like I remember that there was a player that ended up getting knocked out. It was the Namiga game that happened in the Eastern European ones where they won 4v5. They ran out of pause time. The guy had to run to a LAN cafe to get in for game number 2, but they ended up winning without him, which is pretty hype.
Yeah, I mean, right now, I would want Jubei to use this Juggernaut. Just throw your hook in, then start playing Juggernaut, you know?
All right, yeah, that's fair.
Do your best. Everyone else, I think, has, like, too much responsibility. Oh, he's in, thank God. I don't want to see
great.
a 4v5 game like this.
That'd be terrible. Okay, so Yamsun back. They're going to be ready to go. Apparently, they need a second still. King RD saying that they're ready to go. And we're underway. What do they decide to do on black and yellow? Ask Yules to dodge the EMP. Yeah, they're still
just
sticking around. Oh,
All right.
no.
Centaur's dead for a little bit, so...
This is a little scary. All right, they get the racks and then backing away.
they got a range racks, it's fine.
Okay. This is the point where if there are disconnects, you kind of wonder, it's like, oh, do we have to try and like push the game to end quicker so that way we don't have to worry about pause time? I don't know.
That would be a horrible mentality to have, because you're pressuring yourselves, like, right, to do something that's not even gameplay related.
Right, exactly. Uh-oh. Jubei again, breaking the
Jubei
smoke.
again.
Dude, he's on it.
He might not be hitting a lot of hooks, but he's breaking a lot of smokes this game.
Force staff in.
Oh, he hit
Finds
that
the
one,
though. Force staff out on the other side. Now Jubei in a lot of hurt, but he gets force staffed out. Flea able to save his buddy. Aeon disprocced. Now Sunstrike. Ooh, almost able to connect there. Yamsun walks in on top of all of them. Z-Freak gonna try and time that stun afterwards. They connect on him. There's no Aegis. Omni Slash is available. Yamsun has to back out of there. Is the heal gonna be enough? He turns with the Omni, trying to take down King RD. Is it enough though? Oh, they land the freaking stun afterwards from Envy. They take down the Jug, and black and yellow have to back out. Tornado, it connects on the clock. Flea's there to try and help the force staff away. Hook shot afterwards. Can he get it off? No. Can yellow lose 2. Envy ready to take some buildings.
Yeah, that was a very manly move by Yamsun to really commit in there. A little uncharacteristic. Like, I haven't really said a lot about him, but he's just been like very stable for this team. Honestly, whether his game is good or bad, he's just played really well. So that was like a very uncharacteristic overextension there by him.
And now, after using the glyph on the tier 1, they're going to use it for tier 2 as well. But dude, this is a Luna, and it's 50 seconds gone for the Juggernaut. Can they get a buyback out of this?
They should try. It's a big gold swing to get this Juggernaut to buy back, and that's what they need. They need quite a few of those gold swings right now. Barracks could help, a buyback could help.
And all it takes is a second there. It's the force staff, and and jump away from Flea.
Their lanes are too bad, and plus there's too much deep push on black and yellow.
Okay.
Both their side lanes are pushing in because their axe is taken on both ends.
Flea jumps forward, finds Mr. King out, gets him there. The Hex is out. Zero, BKB has a Hex of his own. Chase down continues, forces the Stampede. Yules afterwards. This has been a great answer for the Centaur, but can they kill him? Looks like with that Chakram chase down, they will.
Did they get Moo too, or did... Well, Moo got his juke on. He got it back to base. He had the gem too, so that was... Flea disengaged on him for a little bit, and... Yeah, he got out. This Lotus Orb is really good, by the way. I might want to see another Lotus Orb if they can. The Centaur has it on the Radiant, and... What this does is it makes Juggernaut very uncomfortable to use his Omni Slash. You just spam that on Luna, and he can't ever Omni Slash to Luna, or it reflects.
Whoa. Look at how fast this Roche respawn is.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's a refresher for Esk, I believe. That's scary.
That's really big. All right. They've got themselves Aegis Cheese number 2 now. And surely at this point, they're going to be able to make some more action happen, taking down another set of racks potentially. We'll have to see, though.
I think they can with this refresher on Esk. He has 2 BKBs, 2 Exos. It's a lot of time to be able to just hit their base.
And the Amson is actually queued up a BKB for himself. Buys that as well as his Aghanim synth together. So Envy very stacked up, very farmed, still ahead of the Jug in terms of net worth. But I mean, this guy's still strong. Also, Illusionist Cape and that Penta-Edge sword ready to go. Invoker? Oh, he's trying to get towards the sheep stick. He had the refresher queued up earlier, but feels like he needs to get this done on his own here now.
Yeah, it looks like they're not confident in getting an instant stun off of this Juggernaut before he gets his, not only BKB, but his spin-off. Now, BKB is an okay choice. I don't hate it. Like, Magic Immunity is such a powerful tool versus the bEE's. They have so many stuns. And all of Invoker's spells too, so if he actually wants to right-click people,
right,
he's gonna have to be Magic Immune for it.
We do also have the Wind Waker now available, so another save, potentially. As they're gonna get set up and pressure here in the top lane. Rack's going down, but the jump immediately. Able to catch again onto King RD. Meteor Hammer afterwards, Jubei in some trouble. Will end up falling. They get the Stampede out one time, and whoa, Yamson already dead.
Yeah.
Okay, EXO is there,
Spin
looking for the follow-up, gets the spin, and then the jump away. That's BKB used for Envy as well.
Yeah, I think Envy just not only didn't know he had a BKB, but mistimed the spin a little bit. He thought he could get all his spells off before, so a little bit of miscalculation there.
Yeah, well, that is going to be another spin forward. Staying right on top of the Nyx Assassin. They get the finger out as well, trying to blow him up. The jump push back onto Envy. Is it going to be enough there? The Hex, Swift Slash, huge Omni Slash afterwards. As Z-Freak tries to throw out all the stuns in the world to slow this down. Cataclysm afterwards, is it going to be enough? It's only Jubei and Zero. They pop the cheese. They're living through it. Z-Freak force staff forward and trying to get away, but he too will fall. One by one, they go down. There's no Envy. And I think with that, Black and Yellow are at least going to open up the second set of racks, barring some type of a miracle here as they again walk forward. Going to find Ryoya, take him down. Buys back again. Another hero now. And with the full set of racks set down yet again, they have Zero in on top of them with that Aghanim Scepter, continuing to chase. Z-Freak, stun, thrown forward, connects onto all 4 heroes simultaneously. Another round of the Agh's Chakrams as, well, Zero is getting cold snap, but a great Finger of Death out from Flea. It is the Mega Creeps. It is Black and Yellow taking this game number 1 in dramatic fashion and looking so freaking good doing it. Really impressive showing from them.
Yeah, they're gonna try some last hurrah here. Maybe can buy some time to get him in the fountain, but if they just focus on the throne, they might be able to get this.
Really, really well done. Swift Slash away. They're gonna take down that tier 4 tower. Hex, but it's only to stop for the moment. Lee's just gonna hit the two-person stun, and then the mass tip onto Eternal Envy, throwing a little bit of salt in the wounds of that one. And this grudge match here, again, in one of the last matches in the NA qualifiers, Black and Yellow, they're gonna go up one game.
Yeah, I mean, very impressive. Like I said, for me, Flea MVP, and bEE needs to find a playmaker on their team real bad to kind of like make the mid game a little bit more smooth.
True enough. Well, we're going to have to see if they can do that and more going into game number 2. But for now, we're going to head on to a quick break, go back with the panel, break it all down for you then. We'll see you on the other side.